Hello beauty, and welcome to benefit 3 of enhanced growth. Planting companion plants together works so beautifully for enhancing your growth. I've already covered one in the previous video. For example, adding nitrogen into the soil when you plant beans and peas helps not only enrich the soil, but it helps with enhanced growth. So you will notice that there are some plants that do a myriad and so many different benefits, which is really awesome. So with the enhanced growth, there are so many benefits for enhancing growth that the plants that we may not even think of. For example, providing shade for our plants. Certain plants offer really great benefits of shade, or they can improve support. For example, growing corn alongside and beans and peas. The corn provides support for the beans and peas to grow up. And you've got optimizing space, like the three sisters, the corn, the peas and the beans, and the pumpkin around them. The pumpkin provides the shade and it reduces weeds, and it also protects your soil, so any of the nutrients stay within the soil. And reducing competition, such as competing for resources. There are ways that you can plan out your companion plants so that they're not competing for resources, like tomatoes and potatoes. If you're growing them together, they're in the same family, they're going to compete for nutrients. So companion planting will help you work out which ones work well together and enhance the growth. You don't want to plant ones together that are going to not enhance the growth. I can't think of the other word, but that will prevent them from growing to their fullest potential. You want your baby plants, all your plants, and you want your yields to go well, and you want your garden to thrive. So planting plants together that will help enhance the growth of each other is quite a no-brainer, right? And it can balance growth rates as well, so different growth rates that will complement each other. Three Sisters is a perfect example because you start with the corn first once it's here, and then you plant the bean and pea seeds, whichever you have chosen. Once they germinate, the corns already begin to be established, so then they can start growing upwards. Few ones that I have not mentioned in the Ultimate Companion Guide. So a few more examples of plants that can enhance the growth. I have a few there, for example, like the three sisters, lettuce and radishes. So radishes, again, they grow quickly, allowing lettuce to mature, but then you're utilizing the soil around it. And I've got a few other examples. So tomatoes, when you are planting, say, carrots, celery, or parsley with them, even chives and onion, all of those work together to enhance the tomatoes' growth. We're in spring at the moment, so having these companions alongside your tomatoes is a brilliant strategy. You've also got things like nasturtium, so enhancing the growth of your brassicas around. So nasturtium works as like a sacrificial crop, or a trap crop they can be called. So if you're planting any brassicas like cabbages, and then you have the nasturtium, the white butterflies will lay their eggs on the nasturtium, and aphids will attack and go along the nasturtium first, and they will leave your brassicas alone. And they're great also for ground cover and adding nutrition into the soil. Another one is garlic. If you're planting garlic near roses, it enhances the growth of the roses because it deters any aphids from landing on your roses. Then you don't have to spray, you just have some garlic alongside your roses, planted in front and around the base, and then you're utilizing the soil and its added benefits. And last but not least, I wanted to give you a wee recipe too. If you grow comfrey, remember that this is one of my favorite plants because it grows well, it has the tap roots, it helps yield more nutrients, also helps aerate the soil. And you can use the leaves. Whenever I plant, I always put comfrey leaf in because it adds potassium and so many micronutrients. Remember, the tap roots are bringing up so many of those nutrients from down deep below. So they're in the leaves, and then when you put them in the soil, in the hole, when you're planting something out, it's making those micronutrients available. So can you see how all this biodiversity just by planting and having that little bit of knowledge? And one of the recipes is comfrey tea. So if I use all of it, so you can steep a few of the leaves, just some water, and then you're going to use water and you can put it around any plants that are hearting, for example lettuce, or your cabbages if they're producing heart, if they're fruiting, or if they're flowering. It gives them a really good potassium boost and all the micronutrients that they need as well. It's such a wonderful all-rounder must have. It does spread, so where I have put my comfrey is right over in the back corner of my garden, and it reseeds every single season. And another one be aware of is you do work with gloves when you are dealing. They have like little not quite spikes, but like you can, some people, I find I can handle it quite fine, but some people do feel a little bit rashy or itchy afterwards. So work with gloves, easy peasy. It's not as bad as stinging nettle, and I use stinging nettle all the time, and that's another one actually that enhances growth, is stinging nettle. Stinging nettle adds in a lot of the nitrogen as well. It's another one that I let grow wild within my garden because it's always aerating the soil, it's adding nitrogen. The leaves are medicinal before they flower, and yeah, so many benefits. So any questions, let me know. That was enhanced growth, and the next one we will talk about disease prevention. You will notice that a lot of them will overlap. But again, having the knowledge of what you remember at the start, we said go with your goals and what you're wanting to achieve, what you're wanting to grow. Knowing what you're wanting to achieve, yes, they may overlap, but if you know what you're wanting to achieve, then it makes it so much easier with what plants to plant and the companions. And it's just such a beautiful way to garden for ourselves, for our garden, for the ecosystem, and for the whole of Mother Earth.